Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, the Mystic Mover. I am the voice behind the Soul Said So podcast, where every week we talk about getting out of your mind and getting into your soul. The soul is the true, authentic essence of you, and sometimes your mind can trick you and why play around with you and make you think you ain't who you said you is or who you ain't really is. That came out a little funky, but okay. But today I'm jumping on talking about thoughts again. That's my specialty. That has been the demon that I've had to fight, and the demon that I am still having to put in its place. Okay, so I want to talk about moving with your thoughts versus waiting for it to change. What do I mean? You have a negative thought that presents at the front of your mind, and instead of waiting over time for you to have a new thought, I want you to move with the thought. So let's say that you're thinking that um, things never change for me, but you have an opportunity of change. It's not a guaranteed opportunity. Let's say that change is that you have to move to a new city, or that you are trying to get a new job, or you are trying to do something as far as entrepreneurship. Now, your mind may be telling you, I know me personally, entrepreneurship. 2020, at the top of COVID, I started a metaphysical business, and I got so overwhelmed with the fact that I was actually doing it that it scared me. And I completely pulled back, stopped doing the business and everything, instead of me moving through the emotion of being afraid and doing it anyway. And that's exactly what I mean by moving through the thought. Be afraid, but do it anyway. They not gonna pick me. They not gonna look at this. They not gonna select me. Have those thoughts, but still move and do it anyway. Do not allow that thought to keep you hostage and prevent you from just seeing what's possible. Just because you think that something is gonna happen, now you got to question yourself and ask, why am I thinking like that? What happened to me before that I wasn't seen, or I wasn't viewed valuable? Because that might not have been the case. You might have been being protected from something that you couldn't even see, something that was out for your health, something that was out for your mind, something that was out for your spirit. You don't know what you were being protected from. But because an experience, like our heart was so into something and we didn't get it, we were disappointed, we were let down, we feel and equate that to meaning that it's not for us, or that it's not something that we can obtain. But timing is everything. Timing is everything. The wrong time can do more damage than you just getting the opportunity because you want it. Okay? So we have to remember that a lot of things play out and happen in our life for our own protection, not necessarily because of anything that we've done, haven't done, did do, any of that. And it can be difficult to view it like that and think of it like that, but there are 1,000 possibilities going on. There are millions and millions of angels that are watching over you, protecting you, directing you, making sure that you get to point A from point A to point B safely, without any harm or without it damaging your soul. So whenever you have a thought that is trying to prevent you from doing something that you really want, don't negotiate with that negative thought. And negotiating with that thought looks like overthinking, going back and forth. Because what they say, two places I'm not going with you, back and forth. Don't go back and forth with the thought. If you have the means to do something, if it's in your control and you have actions that you can take on your end, that's it. That's all. Do those actions and let's see what comes from it. If nothing comes from it, then that means that we're going to have to pivot. And yes, we do get tired of pivoting after we have been pivoting for a while, but you do not want to give up on yourself, you don't want to abandon yourself, and you don't want to suggest to your spirit and your soul that something is not for you, or that you won't get certain things, because a lot of things are already predestined for you. It's just a matter of us making certain moves to get into the position that we were already called for. And that is not easy. Whenever you are too much is given, much is required, and a lot of that much is required comes with a lot of conditioning, comes with a lot of making sure that you understand how to hold what it is that you're saying that you want. I was at this conference this past weekend, and the guy said that life is a game and everybody wants the ball, but a lot of people don't even know what to do once the ball is in their hands. And I like to think of that as well in life. Sometimes you're gonna hear no, you aren't ready at this moment. And I remember, like, a year ago, I was really trying to get this opportunity, and the lady was just telling me, you're not ready, you're not ready. And I was so frustrated because I felt so ready. But once I looked back over it after time had passed, I could really understand how I wasn't ready. And being unprepared is not always within your skill set, or within something that is physically on the outside of you. Sometimes it's definitely in your mindset. It's in the capacity of what you are already carrying and holding in your life, and this is just not the right time, because having to add that on top of what you already got is going to do some things that you aren't even anticipating, because you're so focused on receiving something different. So, what I want you to do for yourself is to start setting a minimum movement. When you feel bogged down with negative thinking and negative thoughts, that to the point where you feel in a freeze mode, where you can't really move and you can't really put much energy out, set a minimum. Today, I'm going to do these two things. I'm going to set this out. Let that be enough. And my guilt, or my problem, is I would try to do so much. Like, if there's 24 hours in a day, I want to use all 24 of them. Like, girl, when you gonna sleep? It was a lot of things, a lot of self-neglect, and burning myself completely out, to the point where, of course, I can't even fight back the negative thinking anymore because I'm fully burnt out. So set yourself a minimum movement of what you will give yourself realistic time frames to accomplish. How will you plant the seed of your energy? And then I want you to start tracking proof. When you receive something, it does not have to be something big, it can be something very small, but anything that seems connected to what it is that you're working towards, write that down, because angels are talking to you, okay? Every day you are getting signs, and some days it's going to be silent, it's going to be quiet, but those are the days where you ground yourself, where you are envisioning what it is that you want to see come into fruition, the thoughts and the experiences that you do want to feel. Like, everything in life is about a balance, and as humans, we don't always want a balance. We want things to happen instantaneously, and I don't fully blame us. The world kind of shapes us to think that things are that way, but when you really understand the energy of the world, then you start to recognize that things happen divinely, and some things take time, whereas some things that you're not even paying attention, but it's something that you may have done 5 or 6 years ago, and in this certain movement that you're making now, it seems like you did it just like that, but that was built up over time. That one little time that you decided to go and apply for a certain job or role or whatever, and it ended up making sense 7 years later. Like, the world is, it's magical, okay? But we have to be receptive into how things in the world play out. And we can't let our mind trick us and talk us out of things that are already predestined for us, okay? But I want you to start tracking proof. I don't care where you write it at. I got me a section in my notes. I got me a dry erase board. I got me a notepad. But I want you to start tracking proof that what you know about yourself, regardless of any thought that pops up in your mind, what you know, track it, write it down so that you'll have it, and you'll have something to fight back with those negative thoughts on. Okay, so I hope this helps someone. Again, I'm the Mystic Booba, and every Wednesday, 11 a.m., Soul Said So comes out with some new information. We're talking about thoughts and the mind and how to take back your mind. So until next time, y'all.